Back on The Nation at 5 with the update on Gotabaya Rajapaksa that he has landed, his flight has landed in Singapore. It is not a private plane, it's a Saudi Arabia plane, it's a Saudia plane, and that's the confirmation. At 1917 local time, the flight from Riyadh to via Malé to Singapore. So Riyadh, Malé, Singapore, SV 788 has landed. That's the confirmation that's been put out by Chloe Chu, who's a journalist with Channel News Asia. But she's also put the fact that there are Sri Lankans who are waiting. There are Sri Lankans who are actually waiting to try and express their displeasure with Gotabaya Rajapaksa. So there are about 20 odd Sri Lankans who are waiting to express their displeasure with Gotabaya Rajapaksa right at the airport, and they're all waiting. She's put out their pictures, and she's also said that she is at the airport, the Changi airport, to see if Gotabaya Rajapaksa will arrive. Will he step out at the Changi airport? So she's taking the Changi airport, and we are taking her to see what is the update that she shares with us, because she's right on ground at the Changi airport. But Gotabaya Rajapaksa taking the passenger aircraft of Saudi Arabia from Malé to Singapore. He's landed there at 1917 is 7 p.m. and 17 minutes past 7 p.m. in Singapore. That's the time that they have quoted that he has landed. And we'll see what happens next. Does he stay put at the Changi airport and take another aircraft and fly out straight up? Or does he step out of the Changi airport? Earlier in the day, the inputs that we had is that Singapore will not be giving him, has refused to give Gotabaya Rajapaksa any asylum. We'll try and go across to Purnima Murli with more. Purnima, even as that press conference by the protesters goes on, where they've made fresh accusations against Ranil Wickremesinghe about the PM's house itself, that he himself must have set it on fire. So there is a fight brewing out now between the protesters and who's backing them politically. And Ranil Wickremesinghe saying what the real intent behind these protesters is. Are there those working in the shadows using the protesters as the face? That's one aspect. The other aspect is what happens next with Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Because he had said, if I remember correctly, in his address to the nation, that he will send his resignation once he lands in Singapore. Did he say that publicly, or is that what we are given to understand? Purnima.
Well, that is what we are given to understand, because, you know, it's been more than 24 hours since the speaker said that he would resign. Even late last night, he said that before midnight, President Gotabaya will resign. But sources and local media here has reported that only when he reaches a safe destination will that happen. And why? Because he still holds power as the president, and he wanted to ensure that he first, along with his wife, reach a safe destination before resigning, so that he can ensure that he can use his power to either take a private jet or to ensure that he's given adequate protection while he reaches another South Asian country, which is why there has been a delay. And that's why once he lands in Singapore, the next 2 hours could be crucial, because everyone is expecting him to submit his resignation once he reaches safely. But all eyes on Singapore and how and whether he is stepping out of the airport, and whether we will be able to get a glimpse of whether Gotabaya will be stepping out or not.
Now we have. We have a confirmation that from sources close to Gotabaya Rajapaksa that he did take the passenger plane, the Saudia plane, to Singapore. But there is no confirmation whether he will alight and disembark and step out of the Changi airport in Singapore, or will he wait on at the airport and transit. There is a high probability that he may just transit to another destination, and there could be a decision that could have been taken. Now, he was meant, and sources are telling CNN News 18 that he was meant to have boarded an earlier commercial flight on Singapore Airlines, but he didn't do that because of safety concerns. He asked whether passengers on that flight what happened, and they said they experienced a 10 to 12 hour delay due to technical issues on the plane. It had nothing to do with with Gotabaya Rajapaksa. DP Satish is with us. DP Satish, there are 2-3 aspects brewing. Let's focus on Gotabaya Rajapaksa next. Is he going to step out in Singapore and stay overnight, or is he going to transit further? What are sources telling you?
See, Gotabaya Rajapaksa has promised that he would resign by 13th. That was yesterday. He didn't resign. He just handed over start to Ranil Wickremesinghe, saying that he is leaving for somewhere else abroad. Actually, he should resign. Ranil Wickremesinghe has told his close people that once Gotabaya Rajapaksa reaches Singapore and he feels safe, he will send his resignation to the Speaker of the Parliament. And since he has already reached Singapore, people in Sri Lanka hope that Rajapaksa will send his resignation to the Speaker of the Parliament by tonight, so that there can be a transition. But we really don't know if Gotabaya Rajapaksa is going to stay in Singapore or he will proceed to United States of America, because Gotabaya Rajapaksa was earlier used to work in America and his only son lives in the US and he is a US national. And there are rumors that Gotabaya Rajapaksa will finally go to US and he will live there because he used to live there, and Wasim Rajapaksa, his brother, who has also fled the country, holds US passport. He is a dual citizen. And Gotabaya Rajapaksa might proceed to the US from Singapore. We really don't know. But Gotabaya Rajapaksa is expected to resign. This is what people in Colombo are saying, because Ranil Wickremesinghe has given enough hints that if at all Gotabaya Rajapaksa resigns, he will not tolerate any protest after this. He says this is the time to restore peace and order in the country, and Ranil says, I am the in charge and he will take charge of the country. For that, Gotabaya Rajapaksa has to resign. We really don't know if he's going to...
But Ranil Wickremesinghe also does not have the mandate. He's got the only mandate is from Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and the fact is that he is a one-party, one-member MP, and that's the jibe that's been taken by Sajith Premadasa against him. That is a one MP party, and he's become the Prime Minister and now the President. What kind of right does he have? The special session of Parliament in Sri Lanka will convene tomorrow. Sarath Fonseca has also thrown in his hat, saying that I am ready to be active Prime Minister in the interim if everybody agrees. So, and meanwhile, there is this entire aspect of the JVP playing from behind, working in the shadows, which Ranil Wickremesinghe has actually alluded to.
No, there are too many claimants for the post of the President of Sri Lanka, Ranil Wickremesinghe, leader of the opposition Sajith Premadasa, former Army Commander Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca, and also Anurag Kumar Dissanayake of JVP. But according to Sri Lankan constitution, once President officially resigns, Prime Minister will be the acting President, so that no one can stop Ranil from becoming the Prime Minister at least for a few days. But within 30 days, Speaker of the Parliament will hold an election to elect a new Prime Minister for the remainder of the term of Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Then all the other claimants can also contest in the election, and whoever gets absolute majority, 50% plus one vote, will be elected as President. Sajith Premadasa and Ranil Wickremesinghe don't like each other, because Sajith Premadasa walked out of United National Party to form his own party, SJD, during the 2020 parliamentary election. And Ranil Wickremesinghe's party, UNP, was routed in that election. Sarath Fonseca feels Ranil Wickremesinghe is a proxy of Rajapaksa. That's why he is the only man who can lead the country. And Anurag Kumar Dissanayake of JVP, once it was a radical Marxist-Leninist party, as you know, Anand, he is also taking climb to the post of Prime Minister. But many in Colombo feel that recent violence in Colombo was instigated by JVP people.
Right. DP Satish, thank you for your inputs and also bringing in perspective on the developments in Sri Lanka and also in Singapore. Purnima, thank you for your inputs. Great job done by you and your VJ on ground, and continue to get us the best pictures from Colombo. We'll see what Gotabaya Rajapaksa does next. We keep close tabs on that, but have to take a short break. Stay with us here on The Nation at 5.